Brian Tyler Cohen kicks this off, denying, even though he is one of the founders of the 1630 Fund and oversees this organization, Chorus. And he, I guess, was the go-between with the dark money group to get this funded. So here's what he had to say in response to the article in Wired.
At the risk of giving an internet troll more attention, I want to address a piece that Taylor Loren wrote yesterday for Wired. An initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online offers influencers up to $8,000 a month to push the party line. All they have to do is keep it secret and agree to restrictions on their content. Literally nothing in this statement is true. The article is about Chorus, which is a nonprofit that I helped found to build up a creator ecosystem, which everybody says they want, but few are doing.
So who exactly are you recruiting to join your little club? Are you recruiting people that are actually going to rock the boat? Or are you just recruiting people that are going to toe the corporate Democratic Party line like every single person that is a part of this group? You're just a hypocrite. Again, I have never watched him. I've never listened to him. I don't give a flying fuck what he has to say. He is representative of everything that I dislike about politics. He looks like a gossip queen. Congratulations. You figured your way into the club and you were willing to sell yourself out in order to stay in it. And now you have to do damage control. As much as I wish this is going to hurt them in some way, I feel that their audience is so captured that it's very much like the ride or dies with Trump who don't even question his relationship with Israel or his covering up for Epstein. There is no difference. Sycophantic, blind, and will stick around. Maybe some people will wake up and look for another outlet. I hope they will, but I'm not holding my breath. So let's hear what more copium he has to throw at the audience.
So here's what Chorus is. It is a scholarship program to teach creators how to grow their accounts, foster engagement, launch their own shows, and become profitable on their own. It's an incubator program to build the pro-democracy ecosystem. Influencers and creators have never been more important when it comes to how Americans are consuming their news. The right has been doing this for years, and the left needs to catch up. That's why we're doing this with Chorus. So let's talk about what Chorus is and what it's not. Chorus does not pay creators for content, does not tell them what to say, does not control who they talk to or work with, and there is absolutely nothing in the contract that could even be reasonably interpreted to say that we do.
Okay, so that's a lie. And Taylor Lorenz has been on social media all day today pointing this out. And here's what I would say. If what she reported is false, where she is basically questioning the integrity of your very operation, that it is dishonest, and that you are being paid off, that you're being paid off. That's what she's accusing you of. I would think that that would be grounds for a massive lawsuit if it wasn't true. But guess what? There is no lawsuit. They are not doing that. This is a form of damage control. Everything he's saying is a lie. Right now, all of it's a lie. That this was a graduation course to teach people how to do this stuff, that is a level of cope that even Patrick Bet David would blush at. And we'll get to him later.
Period. Full stop. I don't know a single creator who would willfully sign up for a program that would tell them what they can or can't say. That's not what this program is. We pay people to show up to workshops and technical trainings to optimize their content online. For example, we've got trainings on how to package content for YouTube, trainings on how to optimize audience retention for Instagram and TikTok, trainings on how to form an LLC. Again, there are zero restrictions on their content. And by the way, the program works.
You know, I think back specifically to George Carlin when he was accused by, I remember Horace Cooper on Bill Maher about, you think that there is this conspiracy, that all of these guys are in it together. And as George Carlin would say, there is no grand conspiracy. It doesn't need to be written down on paper. Everyone who understands the score understands what you can and cannot do. And what you cannot do, if you are a part of the Democratic Party establishment, corporate hierarchy, first and foremost, you cannot talk about Palestine, ever. And if you do, it is strictly as a throwaway line. Nothing in depth, and certainly nothing to question Israel about. Cohen's guilty of it. Juliana's guilty of it. Politics Girl, Midas Touch, David Pakman, Aaron Parnas, Real Patriot, all these guys, all of them, they all know what the score is. And they know that if they play by the rules, they'll get the job. JoJo from Jersey, Harry Sisson, and his butt buddy partner, I forget his name. It's a small club and you're not invited. And frankly, I wouldn't want to be invited. I would never sell myself out like this. To get on my hands and knees and blow the Dem establishment 24/7? I mean, there's a level of cuckery that I understand that people are willing to put up with, but for God's sake, this is freaking nuts.
In just 2 months, our cohort has added a combined 6 million followers, that's not including me, and seen their views and engagement grow. That is the point of the program.
So here's something else that I really want people to understand here. If you are a mark and you do not actually play by the corporate special interest rules like our channel does, we will grow, but only because of the engagement that the people who already follow our channel are willing to do in order to get it out there. We have videos where we get 1,000 views and 300 likes and at least 150 to 200 comments. You know what that means? That means that the channel is suppressed and it cannot actually get out there and catch the algorithm. Every once in a while it happens. We'll get a 50,000 view clip, a 60,000 view clip. And again, more often than not, it's by dumb luck. Now, with what he's talking about, he's not talking about how it actually occurs where you get to build up your audience, hundreds of thousands of viewers at a time. You know how that happens? You have relationships with engineers at Google. You have relationships with people who know exactly how to place you on the algorithm. They tell you exactly what the story is, what the topic needs to be, the length of the video, and away you go. And that's what moves it. He is out there. David Pakman is a prime example of a wet paper bag can be successful on social media and all these major sites, including YouTube. Why? Because they follow a pattern. If you follow the pattern, you will be successful, even if you are the most bland personality in the history of the world. Doesn't matter. Could you imagine how much our channel would blow up if we actually caught the algorithm on a regular basis? But we're not going to, because we tell the truth. And telling the truth is a very dangerous thing to do, especially today. You think a guy like this ever tells the truth? He tells the truth for people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, their version of the truth. That's who he's there to appease. Not the everyday people who are in desperate straits right now. No, it's to appease corporate special interests so they can have their money and power. And that's why he's doing this, because he's scared shitless that people might actually get onto what he's about. And then he's going to lose support. And we all know how much they cope when they lose it.
Teach creators how to be effective with whatever messages they want to promote. And with regard to keeping it a secret, there is a standard confidentiality clause in the contract to protect the privacy of the creators. On the literal first day of the program, it was made clear to all of the creators in our kickoff session that they were absolutely free to talk about Chorus. And we immediately followed up to confirm that in writing. Creators have videos about Chorus. They've got donation links to Chorus in their bios. I myself have made videos that were posted all over the internet about Chorus that reached hundreds of thousands of people. It is not a secret, and it never was. There's the implication in the article that this is some arm of the DNC or the Democratic Party. We have literally nothing to do with the DNC. I spend 0 minutes of my day thinking about the DNC.
I mean, I'm still waiting for a kernel of truth that this guy's going to throw at us, but he clearly doesn't want to do it. You're telling me that when you are interviewing the President of the United States, when you are interviewing Senator Cory Booker, you're telling me that you have no attachment to the Democratic Party whatsoever? I mean, I know some people were born yesterday, but he is playing on this idea that people are absolutely incapable of thinking for themselves. That whatever the audience says, they will listen. That's what he's doing. He's implying that people are too stupid to think for themselves. That's what he's saying.
The creators do not toe any party line. How could we? There isn't a party line. Creators are absolutely allowed to speak out against the Democrats and, in fact, Plenty do. And frankly, course creators should and do criticize Democrats when they suck. And quite often, they do suck. I've seen posts saying that this is APAC funded, which couldn't be further from the truth. I'd venture to guess that most course creators, myself included on both YouTube and Substack, have spoken out against the atrocities in Gaza.
No, he hasn't. And in the context that he does it, he never has ever taken the Democratic Party to task about the role that they have, which is even greater than the role that Trump is doing right now. This could have ended. I mean, honestly, like Jen said, the whole situation in Gaza could have ended within a matter of weeks. Just like Ukraine, same thing. But nope. There's too much money involved. There's too much power involved. You don't get 1 million subscribers on YouTube, or in the case of David Pakman, 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and think you're going to walk away from that, or that you're going to change tune. No, you have audience capture. You have a platform, career, sponsors, obligations. That's what matters, not what you would like to have happen. This is the way it is, baby. Talk about a liar.
Loren says that the 1630 Fund is, quote, a powerful liberal dark money group. 1630 Fund is our fiscal sponsor. One of the largest documented donors to 1630 Fund is the same person funding Meteor's Reporters in Residence program, which Taylor Lorenz herself is a part of. And guess what her monthly stipend is? $8,000 per month.
As I've said before, and I will say again, anybody who knows this channel and has been following us knows I have zero love for Taylor Lorenz, that Nepo baby who is probably a jilted lover and wanted in on whatever this network was. They didn't want her, and she decided to do research and throw them under the bus. As I said, very similar to the expose about the Democratic convention, where jilted lover Chris Cuomo decided to blow the whistle on exactly who is funding the party and what it costs to actually go to the events, which is why when you have Mrs. Walsh and her I've Had It podcast, she's just a hypocrite. She's full of shit and she doesn't care. How do I know? Because she was up there in those luxury boxes with Dan fucking Goldman, one of the biggest Zion-Nazis in all of politics, forget Dem or Republican. The heir to the Levi Strauss fortune gleefully supports what's going on in Gaza right now. And why does that matter? The only way we found out about it is because, again, Chris Cuomo was thrown under the bus by the establishment, and he decided to take it out on them. You know what? There's a really good chance that Taylor Lorenz was also jilted by the actions of, let's say, Tyler Cohen. And that's why she decided to write this article and basically spill the beans on what these secluded networks are all about and why for the life of us, we can't understand how the hell they get so big. Well, now you know why. And now you know why we're aware of it. Anyone who thinks that Taylor Lorenz's hands are clean doesn't understand how this stuff works.
So she's criticizing an entity that is funded by someone that she is currently taking money from. I guess it's okay when Taylor Lorenz gets paid, but no one else. The monthly stipend that we offer is so that creators can do this work full time. We've had numerous creators in the cohort quit their jobs so that they can focus on creating content full time. That is what we want. I'm really proud that we can give creators that security for as long as they're in the program. We want people to create pro-democracy content full time, and we want to make sure that they can afford to pay their rent and their bills while doing it.
Yeah, he really cares. You will never hear these guys talk about the real problems like private equity, REITs, the fact that the corruption when it comes to housing in this country is so much worse in the blue areas than the red areas. But he's not going to talk about that. No. We can't talk about that because that gets in the way of the truth. We can't have the truth being put out there because you can't handle the truth. He can't handle it because it hurts his bottom line.
If I could have cohorts with 1,000 people in it so that everybody could be part of the program, I would. For everybody saying that they would like to be part of the next cohort, we would love for you to apply. That's our whole goal. It's to build up an army of pro-democracy content creators who can speak authentically about the issues that they care about and be able to do it as effectively as possible. I should note that while I started this program, I have never and will never get paid. I do this 100% as a volunteer.
Okay. I don't have the goods to verify whether he's full of shit or not, but I can assure you that if he is saying this, remember, can anybody check for me how many subscribers on YouTube Tyler Cohen has and what the average view count is of one of his videos? Claims that he's not getting paid by the 1630 fund. Okay, maybe that's true. That's possible. It is possible that he isn't being paid by that. But you want to know how much money he's making off of his YouTube channel alone? You know how much money that is? Tyler Cohen is making at least $1 million a year. So when he's out there saying, I don't take any money from the 1630 fund, I do chorus as a volunteer because I care so damn much. You know why he's saying that? Because it's probably true. Because he's already wealthy and he doesn't need to take that money. He is just like the president of the United States. I'm totally not taking the salary. I'm going to donate it to charity. That's where it's going to go. That's exactly what he sounds like. Same thing. I'm totally making my family billions of dollars more with all my underhanded dealings. But hey, I'm not going to take that $400,000 a year salary because I don't need it. It's for the people. Let's give it back to the people. Great people. And that's exactly what Tyler Cohen sounds like. Same fucking thing.
I've never earned a dime from Chorus, and I never will. I want every dollar that we raise to go to creators so that they can do this important work without spending 8 hours a day working at some different job. I've been saying...
Oh, okay. So it's also not enough that you are caught up in this bullshit about doing... Again, Jen and I do this podcast because we give a shit. This isn't our living. We aren't trying to make it our living. We are here to try to help facilitate an actual revolutionary change in this country because that's the only way things are going to get better. And this son of a bitch is talking about denigrating people for what they do for a living. Oh, we don't want somebody to have to work an 8-hour job. Let me tell you something. There is a reason why of all the political leanings in this country, when you identify specific political ideologies, no one is more despised than big city liberals like Tyler Cohen. There is a reason people fucking hate you with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. You know why? Because you truly think you are above everybody else. Why would you ever want anybody to work an honest 8-hour-a-day job when they could just talk in front of a computer all day long? That's a real job. That's where real impact happens. Not out there working a manual labor job. I mean, what the fuck is that? Like they would even know what the hell that's all about. That's the worst fucking thing that's come out of his mouth during this entire speech that he's giving about how he's not a grifting fuck. God damn, that's bad.
For years that the left needs to build up its creator space. That has never been more true than it is right now. Influencers and creators have never been more important when it comes to how Americans are consuming their news. The left is a decade behind right now. We desperately need incubators teaching and amplifying new content creators, and not just Chorus, by the way. There are other programs in this space doing the same thing. I want all of them to succeed. We need all of them to succeed. There are people like Taylor Loren who are desperate to tear the left apart, and in fact, it becomes clear who her efforts help when you hear stuff like this.
Genuinely, I kind of like Taylor Lorenz because I know that she actually believes what she says.
Totally
Do you get what I'm
agree.
saying?
So yeah, I generally don't align myself with friends of Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
So now it's all about, well, they play for the red team, I play for the blue team, and that's the reason I don't like her. Again, I don't like Taylor Lorenz at all. And you know what? I believe every word she says, every word about you. And I bet everybody else does too. Well, anybody with a thinking brain, that is.
I continue to believe that the left needs massive investments into the independent media space. I'm really proud of the program that we've built. I'm really proud that we've allowed creators to do this work full time. I'm really proud of the independence that they have to say whatever they want to say in whatever way they want to say it. I'm really proud that our creators are seeing their channels and their pages grow. My goal is to see an army emerge from the left to take on what's happening on the right. Taylor Lorenz and Republicans don't want to see it, but we do. If you also want to get in the fight, apply to the program at wearechorus.org.
You know, the biggest difference, I mean, obviously there's a lot of differences for sure, but the biggest difference between Taylor Lorenz and Tyler Cohen is Taylor Lorenz talks about Gaza a lot. And you don't talk about it at all.